Subhodayam. Welcome to all for the new session on Introduction to Vedas by Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya ji. I'll introduce Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya after the Vande Mataram and Prarthana. I request Venkat Narayan garu to do the Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Supalam, Malayaj Shitalam, Sasya Shamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं
Vande Mataram. Dhanyawadalu, Venkat Narayan garu. Thank you very much for the start. And now we go ahead with the Prarthana. It is 1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Omkaram and then the Prarthana slokas. 1 minute meditation. Close your eyes. Remove all the thoughts that come in. Tell yourself that I should concentrate on the class for the next 1.5 hours. Stay calm. Okay. 3 times Omkaram. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavin Kavinamapamastravastamam Jyashtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasranvannathabhiseda Sadhanam Om Sri Mahaganadipataye Namaha Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinam Avitriyavatu. Om Sri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. गुरुरेव गति गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरो परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरो मतिरस्ति गुरो मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम शांति 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 मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्य देवो भव अतिथि देवो भव ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. Now I'll introduce Dr. Arya ji. Professor Ravi Prakash Arya. He is a chair professor in Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati Chair, UGC, in Maharshi Dayananda University, India. He is a world-renowned Vedic scholar, philologist, historian, and philosopher. He is a prolific speaker and writer. He is a widely traveled scholar who has delivered more than 350 popular lectures and academic talks on various topics of Vedas, Indian history, linguistics, philosophy, culture and scientific Indian heritage in various countries of the world. He is doing pioneering work for preserving and propagating the Indian universal. Just a minute. Under propagating the universal and scientific Vedic heritage of India under the auspices of the Indian Foundation for Vedic Science. He has to his credit 75 research papers and 70 books running into 84 volumes on the various aspects of Vedas, Vedic sciences, Vedic energy, exegesis, Vedic philology, Vedic philosophy, religion, Indian history, and culture. This is, I think, a very old profile. Maybe he has done much more than what is that I have read. He is the chief editor of a quarterly research journal, Vedic Science, dealing with scientific interpretation of Vedas and allied literature and ancient Indian traditions. This journal is acclaimed as an authoritative document on Vedic sciences. He is also the editor of annual World Vedic Calendar. He has convened several national and international conferences, seminars, workshops on Vedic sciences, Ayurveda, yoga, spirituality, and Indian knowledge system. He is a recipient of many awards at the national and international levels. He also served the Higher Education Department of Haryana as principal of various degree colleges for almost 10 years. This is a very brief introduction, but for our Veda Samskruti Samiti and this course, he is a very uh, regular speaker for us, and he gives his great knowledge, shares with us. And every time he comes, though I have been seeing him every time, he comes with a new way of introduction to Vedas. So I would like to invite Dr. Professor Ravi Prakash Arya ji to take over and take the class. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ji. Namaste. And I must thank Colonel Babu and his team for inviting me to share my ideas on Vedas with the whole participants. As I was told, this is the seventh batch going on. So Sanatana Dharma course is spreading like anything I can say, and the people are taking interest. It's a good thing. As the course itself means Sanatan Dharma. It's an eternal knowledge system. Dharma is not a religion, it's a knowledge system. It is, in fact, the Veda is said to be Akhilo Dharma Moolam. Veda Akhilo Dharma Moolam. Veda is the storehouse, source of entire dharmas. So this dharma includes the knowledge system, our duties, moral and ethical values. This is what we called as a dharma, and it cannot be equated with the modern day religion. The religious teachings are different and dharmic teachings are different, and Ved is the storehouse or the source of all the dharmas. A great Vedic scholar, Yaska, he also says, Sakshat Krita Dharmanaha Rishayo Babhu. There were born seers who could visualize these dharmas in their samadhi. So he also means here dharma by Veda itself, the knowledge. And as the very word Veda, its etymology, it springs from a root vida, and this root has three meanings: with labhe, vidli labhe, with jane. So the two meanings, jnana and labha. Labha means to receive. This knowledge was received by seers. It was not composed by anybody else, but it was received by seers from the cosmos itself. And John, it is the valid information. And then this information was passed on by seers to the future generations, as the Yask himself alludes. Sakshata krita dharmanaha rishayo babhu te avarebhya ek sakshat kritabhya dharmena mantran praduhu. Those seers who received this knowledge originally from the cosmos, they passed it on to the future seers who could not receive it directly. So this is the direct perception or direct cognition by the seers in the beginning of creation, we can say. And those seers, they were also the seers who were born in the beginning of the creation, and then this knowledge was passed on traditionally. So this Vedic knowledge is the most authentic and the valid one. It is said, Pratyakshena anumityava yastu payo na vidyate enam vidanti vedena tasmat vedasya vedataha. Whatever is not, whatever, if we are not able to know certain laws of the nature or the cosmic creation through experiments, through pratyaksha or anumana, through inference, that can be known through the Veda. So Veda is the final authority, and it is said Tasmat Vedasya Vedata, and this is why the Veda is called as a Veda itself. So Veda is the arsh knowledge. In our tradition, in Indian tradition, there are many divine enlightened persons have been there, and the foremost of one is known as the seers, rishis. Then the acharyas are there, then other gurus are there. So those seers, the knowledge of the seers or the books composed by rishis or the seers, that is known as Arsha knowledge. Arsha knowledge. And this Veda, this belongs to that, this Veda belongs to the Shruti Parampara. Shruti Parampara means because this knowledge was received by seers, those rishis, those, so this knowledge is in the tradition of the Arsha knowledge itself. And then this knowledge was imparted to the future generations, from one generation to another generation, and it was imparted verbally. And after that, after some time, when the people, they were not able to retain this verbal knowledge, such a big vast knowledge, then the seers, they documented it into the written form. So this is the whole tradition, Arsh tradition. So seers tradition, seers are those who are able to directly receive the knowledge in samadhi through their ritambhara prajna. Yoga Darshan says Ritambhara Tatra Prajna. At one stage of Asamprajnat Samadhi, a yogi receives the Ritambhara Prajna. What is Rita? Rita means the knowledge, the laws of this creation, cosmic creation, and Ritambhara means the buddhi or that intellectual power that is filled up with this whole laws of the nature. And if we are able to understand the laws of the nature, we are able to understand the whole this nature itself. So Veda is the jnana. It's the valid information. Information of what? Information of Brahman, the creator of this universe, information of this universe. So this is the valid information. And Adi Shankara says, when this information is realized by a sadhaka or a seeker, then this jnana becomes vijnana. He says jnanam vishayaha, vishayanubhutira vijnanam. When this information is realized by future generations in their samadhi, then this jnana becomes vijnana. Just like the Brahman is there, this is the information. But when the Brahman is realized by the seeker in his samadhi, then that information of Brahman becomes a Vijnana. And the Shankara further says, Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. When the Vijnan of Brahma takes place, when the realization of Brahman takes place, then that becomes blissful. Similarly, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, in modern times, a great Vedic scholar, he also defines jnana as Parameshwarad arabhya trinaparyantam padarthanam sakshat bodhana vayatvata. Vijnana means right from the Brahman till the grassroots level. When this knowledge is realized, Sakshat Bodha, it becomes the subject of direct realization, then that becomes Vijnana. So in Indian tradition, Jnana is the first step and Vijnana is the further step. In modern science, Vijnana is generally related with the experimental knowledge, whatever is experimented in the laboratory, that is, and whatever is observed through those experiments, that is defined as Vijnana. But here in Vedic system, Vijnana, not only the experimental knowledge is Vijnana, but experiential knowledge is also Vijnana. So Veda is the source, Ved is the knowledge, and its further experience or realization that becomes Vijnana. So this tradition of Vedic tradition starts from the beginning itself. And how this knowledge is retained? Veda is the information in the Brahman. Veda is the jnana or information in the mind of the Brahman. And according to this information, the whole creation is manifested. Whatever information is there, same type of creation will evolve out of due to the sankalp of Brahman. I will give a small example, just like the seed of a tree. Seed is there, and that seed has has an information of a particular plant, shrub, or a tree. And if that seed is grown and it received the conducive atmosphere, then through that seed will grow the same type of plant, the information of which has been had by it. Similarly, this Ved is the information of Brahman, and when Brahman does Sankalpa, when he desires to create the universe, and that desire is also the natural process, it never means that at till certain period he keeps on uh, not to desire, and after some period he desires. It's a natural process, and in that natural process, when he thinks of creation, then whatever information is there in his mind, or the blueprint is there in his mind, or the map of the creation is there in his mind, the same type of creation gets evolved. And this is the sanatana, this is the eternal process, one after another, one creation cycle after another creation cycle. This keeps on going on. So this information is in Brahman, and when according to this information the creation is created, then what happens? The information which was in the mind of Brahman, that exists in the cosmos, the created universe. And now the seer's job starts. When, just like an engineer is there, he has some information, he has some blueprint of a machine in his mind, and when that machine is created by that engineer, so that blueprint of the machine, it comes, it exists in the universe, and anybody can use it. And today we call the reverse technology. The people in the Chinese people and other people, they do the reverse technology, and they find out the laws or the system that machine was created, and then they make their own machines, they make their own, develop their own machines. Similarly, when the information was there in the Brahman's mind, nobody was able to know it. But according to that information, when this knowledge was created, when this universe was created by Brahman, then this information came to exist in the universe itself, in this cosmos itself. And those seers, just like reverse engineering, who were in samadhi, who were high profile seers, they were able to receive that information, and then that information was imparted by them. So this is the whole process of receiving the Veda and propagating it or imparting it to the further generation. So in Vedic field, there are two, three terms most important to be understood. First one is the Veda itself. I have explained it quite in detail. And second term that is related with the Veda is the Yajna. Yajna. So what is Yajna? Yajna is the process of creation. Veda is the knowledge of creation, valid knowledge of creation, and Yajna is the process of creation. Because through knowledge, this process of creation starts due to the sankalpa of Brahman. So Yajna, Shrot Yagas are there. Mostly Yajna has been classified into two types, Shrot Yagas and Smarta Yagas. So Shrot Yagas, they are the figurative symbolism, or they symbolize the creation of this universe. And Smarta Yagas, they are related with the human life, embodied human beings. These Smarta Yagas, they have the 16 sanskaras. Somewhere there are more than 16 sanskaras. All these sanskaras, they are related to the life of the embodied souls. And why these sanskaras are there? These sanskaras, a process of transformation of the embodied souls, so that they may transformed and they may elevate themselves to the level of divinity and be qualified to attain moksha, which is the paramartha, the final objective of the human life. So these Shrota Yagas, they pertain to the various aspects of the creation in the universe. They different aspects, they are going to define them, just like the Soma Yaga is there. Soma Yaga directly defines the creation of the things in the universe. Even the rainfall, rain making, it is also symbolized by that. So these things, in Shrota Yagas, there are Vedis, and that Vedi is Somiki Vedi, is of the figure of a woman. And it is said, just like this earth is there, this earth is also a Vedi, just like the Vedi. And Brahmana, in Shatvat Brahman, it is said, Eta Yavati Vai Yavati Vai Prithvi Tavati Vai Vedi. This earth has been equated to the altar, fire altar. Why? Because this fire altar, this Vedi, is going to evolve the life. The rays of sun falling on the earth, on this Yajna, and the life is evolving on the earth. So this Shrota Yaga, it symbolizes the creation. Creation on the earth itself takes place through following a process of the yajna itself. And this yajna is taking place at different levels. Even at the level of human beings, this yajna is taking place. We have a Jataragni. On Jataragni, we are giving the oblations of the som, or the food we intake. And due to that intake of food, or the oblation of the food on our Jataragni, this human being is uh, evolved, or this human being is nourished. Our body is nourished, and we are able to uh, our lifespan is increased by that. So at every level, this yajna is going on. Brahma yajna is also there. In Brahma yajna, the Acharya is the Agni, and his disciple is the Som. And when the Ahuti of Som is given to the Agni of Acharya, then this knowledge, um, this proliferation of knowledge takes place. This knowledge is imparted. So the yajna is a broad term signifying at the origin of creation, and at a different level, at a different creation. And the third term that is related with the same Veda is Itihas and Purana. Just like Veda is the information of creation, Yajna is the process of creation. So this Itihasa is the history of creation. Purana is also the history of creation. Why the Purana is called Purana? Puranavam bhavatiti Puranam. Because this creation cycle is repeated in every different cycles. This creation is repeated. So Puranavam bhavatiti Puranam, the history of creation, that is known as Itihas and Puran, in the beginning stages, not now. in present day context, even in Itihas and Puran, history of human beings, history of rulers has also been included. But in the beginning stage, at the initial level, Itihas and Puran, they denote the history of universe. And it is a popular shloka is there. It is said, Sargasya Pratisargasya Vansho Manavantarani cha Vanshanucharitam chaiva Purana Pancha Lakshanam. So there were only 5 characteristics of the Puranas. Sarga, Sarga means the creation. Pratisargas, the dissolution, decreation. Sargasya, Pratisargasya, Vanshaha, the lineage of heavenly bodies in the universe. Just like there are so many stories in Puranas, there are so many stories, and generally the Western scholar and their followers in India, they call those stories as the mythology, Puranic mythology. In fact, that is not mythology. That is the history of creation, that is the history of universe embedded in a symbolic way. I'll quote one story. There is a story that Prajapati had 27 daughters, and he wedded those 27 daughters to the Chandrama. So this story is not some historical context. The problem is that there are astronomical characters in our Puranas, as well as mixed up are there the historical characters in the same Puranas. And now we are confusing those historical characters with the astronomical characters. And we are thinking that those astronomical characters are also the human history. But here the Prajapati is our galaxy, and 27 daughters are the 27 constellations, and they were wedded to Chandrama, moon, because the moon, while orbiting the earth, it passes through, every day passes through one constellation. That is why in Rig Veda it is said, Chandrama nakshatranam upasthe soma ahitaha. This moon, this Som is sitting in the laps of the nakshatras, constellation. So these are the stories. Similar, there is one story, Indra and Ahilya. There is a story of Indra and Ahilya. Ahilya was Gautam and Ahilya. Ahilya was the wife of Gautam, and Indra becomes the paramure of Ahilya. And this story is, in a very absurd manner, is depicted by so many Western scholars that this type of character was there of Indian ancient Vedic people. But it is not like that. It is not the historical character. Here, Gautam, Ahilya, and Indra is not the historical character, they are the astronomical character. There is a figuration, there is a symbolic story narrating all these things. Gautam means moon. In Vedic Sanskrit terms, Go means planets. All, even the earth, it is also known as Go. Go, Gama, Jama, Kshama. If you will read Nighantu of Yaska, he will tell us that these words, they pertain to the earth. So Go means planets, and Tama, the planets, the fastest speed of the planet, which is had by any planet, that is known as Gotam. So Chandrama, this moon, orbits fastest of all. It orbits the Earth within 27 to 29 days, and any other uh, planets, they orbit. This Mercury takes 83 days. This Venus takes 225 days. Earth itself takes 365 days. So the moon is the fastest orbiting planet in our solar system. So it is known as Gautama. And Ahalya, Aha means day, Lai means the day is submerged, that is night. This day becomes Laya, the Laya of day becomes in the light. So this Ahalya is the figuration or the symbolic of the night. So in moon and night, there is a relationship of wife and husband, because when there is a night, the moon will be there. So there is a permanent relationship. And this Indra is the sun. When Indra comes, when the sun shines, it does the paramure of the night. It destroys the night, and this is how the Gautam's wife was paramured by sun. So this whole story is a figurative symbolism, defining or narrating or describing the natural phenomenon. But the people, they are taking it as the human history and confusing. So entire Puranic mythology, it has the scientific background within it. It needs to be defined scientifically instead of taking as mythology or absurd stories of ancient Indians. So this is the Itihas and Purana, and it is said Itihasa Purana Bhyam Vedam Samupabranghayat. This knowledge of Veda can be explained, elaborated with the help of Itihas and Purana. Just like a teacher is there in the classroom, when he defines or explains certain concepts, he gives examples, he quotes example. Just like I'm delivering this lecture, I'm quoting so many examples while delivering this lecture, but that never means that all these things are the part of the original knowledge system. And this happened since time immemorial with all our shastras. In Ramayana, in Mahabharata, in Yoga Vasisht, we find so many stories composed later on by the propagator of those knowledge systems. So we must not think that if we find the mention of Krishna and Arjuna in a Yoga Vasisht, which is a conversation between Ram and Vasisht, that never means that this Yoga Vasisht was written after Mahabharata, although it was written earlier. But the scholars or the teachers who were imparting this knowledge even after Mahabharata, they have quoted certain examples from Mahabharata, and those examples were introduced into those texts. So there is nothing to be worried about. If you find certain things, you can glean out those things which are not contemporary or which were added later on. So there you will find so many additions. We call those additions as interpolations. These interpolations are not possible in the Vedic language. In classical Sanskrit language, in simple Laukic Sanskrit language, where everybody can make a shloka, it is not difficult, or it is not so easy to do interpolations with the language of the Ved. It is so complex and supplied with the accent system. Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, Prachaya, Kshaypra. So many swara system is there. So it is not easy to write a mantra in the same style as we found in the four Vedas. So Vedic language, even Vedic mantra cannot be composed by a simple human being, or even the seers, they were not able to compose. It is a very, very complex language, and it was received by those seers in Samadhi in their Samadhi from as a information of the cosmic system. So such mantra system cannot be composed. Even a shlok can be composed. So this uh, three type of system that is related with the Veda, we must remember it: Itihas, Purana, Yajna, and Veda. Now I'm just coming further up with certain more ideas. When we study Veda, we find there some seers, rishis are there. Every human, every hymn of the Veda, every sukta of the Veda, we will find a mention of rishi. And then we will find the mention of the devata. And thirdly, we find the mention of a chanda. So every mantra has some rishi, has some devata, or has some chanda. So this is the exact composition of a mantra of the Veda. So these mantras, they have some suktas, means different type of classifications are there, just like the chapters. In Rigveda, there is a mandala, then there is a sukta, then there is a mantra, just like chapter, sub-chapter, and the mantra like that. So these divisions are there in the mantra. Yajurved, we have adhyaya, we have this suktas and mantra like this, it is there. So what the most important thing to understand in the Vedic system is the rishi. What is rishi? Why the rishi is mentioned in the Veda? As I told, these Vedas were received by the seers in the beginning of origin of human life on this earth, and most importantly, these Vedas were received on the earth itself, not on any other planet in our solar system. The, um, I can give a proof of it also, that these Vedas were revealed to the seers on this earth, not on any other planet. And this earth in our solar system, it is known as Bhumi, it is known as Mahi, it is known as Vasudha, or other planets, they are not designated with these titles. So who is seer? Who is a rishi in the Vedic mantra? Rishi, Yask defines rishi, rishayo mantra drashtarah, rishir darshanat mantra drashtarah. The seers who imbibed these mantras from the cosmos, those were also seers. And in later tradition, in the future tradition, the seers who were able to impart the right meaning of the mantras, the meaning embedded in these mantras or coded in these mantras to their students or to their disciples, they were also called seers. So, rishis were the receiver of the mantra, directly receiver, and also those rishis, because Yask also says, Sakshat Krita Dharmana Rishayo Babhu Te अवरेभ्य आकृत साक्षात्कृत धर्मेभ्य उपदेशेन मंत्राण संप्रादु. So there is a tradition of seers. First seers who received this knowledge, the future seers who passed on this knowledge to the future generations, and they preserved this knowledge. So those seers are related with the mantra. Now the second term that is related with the mantra is Devata. What is Devata? It is said, Yatenochate sa devata. What is said by seer, that is devata. So devata is the subject matter of the mantra. So what can be the subject matter of the mantra? As I told, these Vedas are the knowledge of creation. If the Vedas are the knowledge of the creation, then what will be the subject matter of the mantras? The subject matter of the mantra, whatever is there in the creation, everything will be the subject matter of the mantras. And what is there in the creation? This creation has been classified into three types. Adhyatmika creation. Adhyatmika. Adhyatmic, it pertains to Brahman, it pertains to the souls, and Adhidaivik, it pertains to this all celestial body. Adhidaivik means astronomical. Adhidaivik in Sanskrit and in Veda means astronomical. Just like ancient India, we had Devalayas. So these Devalayas, they were the astronomical observatories. They were not the temples like that. Today we just offer prayers to the deity there, but in ancient period, they were observatories to understand this whole Khagola, astronomical things. Just like, for example, I'll give you the example of Mahakal temple in Ujjain. The name of the Mahakal is the biggest time determination factor in the universe, on the earth. This Ujjain was the prime meridian of Vedic period, 0 degree longitude. And based upon Ujjain as the central prime meridian, the longitudes and the longitudes of other places, they were defined. So now this prime meridian has been taken over by Britishers in Greenwich. Earlier the French had it in France. So just like the might is right, so the powerful persons, they have taken it away, snatched it away from us. Earlier in Vedic period, the Ujjain was the 0 degree meridian, and based upon Ujjain, the directions of the whole globe, they were defined. If we put Ujjain as the 0 degree, then directions of the globe will change, because whatever the line adjoining the North Pole to the South Pole, if something is to the east of that line, those things were known as Suryavansh. Ayodhya was to the east of that line, so Rama was Suryavanshi. And this Indraprasth was to the west of that line, so Pandavas were Chandravanshi, because when sun is there in the east, the moon will be there in the west. So this was, today also we find the whole world divided into two races, Hamitic races, Semitic races, because the entire world was settled over by Indians. They migrated from India in different periods and settled over at different parts of the world. So Hamitic means the Suryavanshi, Semitic means the Somvanshi. Even if you study linguistics, the languages have been divided into Hamitic languages, Semitic languages. So this is all Euro Indo-centric, the whole world that now is reflected through different traditions, it is Indo-centric. But when the Europeans, they overpowered the whole globe, they dominated the globe, then they try to make the world, define the world in a Eurocentric way. So this system, astronomy, as I told, Adhidaivik means astronomical. And then Adhibhautik is there, or Laukik is there. Adhibhautik, what we find on the earth, that is Adhibhautik. And so, as the Acharya himself, while doing prayer in the beginning, he was announcing Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. So these are the Bhautik Devatas, living gods, living Devatas. So the subject matter of the Veda is Brahman at Adhyatmic level. Its subject matter, the heavenly bodies, is also the subject matter of the Veda at Adhidaivik level, and Adi Bhautik level. Even the learned scholars, acharyas, seers, this Mata, Pita, Guru, Atiti. Atiti means a peripatetic monk who roams around the whole nation in the societies and impart good knowledge. Atiti in Sanskrit means which has no tithi for his arrival, who who appears before your house at any time, even at midnight, while moving around this society or in the nation. So Atiti in today's meaning, in today's context, is a guest who comes and who tells you, that guest is either your friend or some known person to you, or your parents, or your relative. But in Vedic guest, Vedic Atiti was a peripatetic monk, a sannyasi, because the sannyasis, they used to roam about the whole, nation, or on the whole earth, and wherever they thought that they have got tired, they need to take some rest, they used to go to some settlements, some inhabitations, used to knock anybody's house, and the people, they used to think that they have blessed to have such a sannyasi at his doorstep, and they try to host him, though they try to offer him arghya, padya, vagara, whatever it was there, food and everything. So that was the Atiti Devo Bhava. So the subject matter of the mantras or the Vedas, all these three things, Adhyatmika, Adhidaivika Devatas, Adhyatmika Devatas and Adhibhautika Devatas. So what is the difference between Deva and Devata? This is also one of the most important thing. Yaska says, Deva eva Devata. Devata means subject matter of the mantra. And but what is Deva? So whatever Deva is there, as just like I defined the Devas, Brahman is the Deva, astronomical, the sun is Deva, Indra is the Deva, moon is the Deva, here Mata is the Deva, because they are all donating to the society. Vedic society was donation dominant. Everybody was considered to donate or to contribute to his family, to his nation, to his society, to his to the earth, even to the environment. And a person who was not contributing, and if he wanted to take something from the nation, from the society, from the family, from the environment, he was known as a stena. He was known as a thief, exploiter. And this Rashtra, the name, Vedic name is a Rashtra. Modern day of nation is a different one, but Vedic definition of a Rashtra means where the Ratis used to live. Rati means Radane, the persons who used to contribute to their nations, and a nation composed of Ratis, or the persons who contribute to the progress of the nation, that nation was called as a Rashtra. And opposite to that were Arati. Arati means thieves who were taking from this nation, just like we have today's politicians. They are exploiting the country for their vested interest. They are using the resources of the country for their vested interest. So they are not the Ratis, they are Aratis. And Yajurveda mantra says, Mavastena Ishata. Let the Aratis, let the thieves, let the exploiters of the resources of the country, they let them not be powerful. Their power should not increase, nor they will keep on exploiting the natural resources, the resources of the nation, the resources of the Rashtra. So this whole system, it Deva means, Yask defines Deva means Danata, who is going to contribute. So mother contributes for their offsprings, father contributes. The teacher, he always contributes, he doesn't take anything. And the sannyasi, Atithi, he also contributes. And that is why in Vedas we find that Dana Stuti mantras, praise of the Dana has been done, because everyone is supposed to donate. We were a society where your duties were preferred, not adhikara. Today everybody wants to have right, everybody talks about rights. We were a society where there was no need for the rights. Everybody was doing his duty, and while everybody is doing his duty, there is no need ideally for the right, for the preservation, for the protection of the right of anybody, because everybody is contributing, and through that contribution everybody is receiving something. Just like in nature, you just see the nature, it's the creation of Brahman. Every aspect, every deity, every natural force, it is contributing, nothing is taking away. If sun is taking away this water in the form of vapors, it is giving you back in a transformed way for your benefit. So if you take something from the nature, you give it back for the benefit of the humanity. So this is the whole Vedic system we must understand. So they were known as Devas, and Yask says Deva eva Devata. All these Devas, they are the subject matter of the mantra. And the third thing is chanda. Chanda is very important. There are 7 chandas, Gayatri, Chanda. Ushnik Chanda, Anushtup Chanda, Brihati Chanda, Trishtup Chanda, Pankti Chanda, Jagati Chanda, just like the 7 chandas, main chandas are there, sub chandas are also there, Nichrit Gayatri, Bhurik like that, Swarat, Virat. So they are subdivisions, but there are main 7 chandas. And Yask defines Chanda, Sandhansi, Chadanat. Why that Chanda? These names have been given because the sun is going to cover earth at 7 places in the whole year. Just like during Uttarayana, the sun is 90 degree, sun is perpendicular on earth at 23.5 degrees south. During what we call that there are celestial points. 2 celestial points are there. Winter solstice, that is Uttarayana at 23.5 degrees south. The sun is perpendicular at 23.5 degrees south. Then there is a Dakshinayan, that is known as line of Cancer, we call it. And during Dakshinayan, sun is perpendicular on earth at 23.5 degrees north. Then there is Devayan period, that is 0 degree equator. And on 21st March, the sun is perpendicular on equator. Similarly, there is a Pitrayan period, that is 23rd September. The sun is again perpendicular on earth at 23.5 degree. So this is how in this 12 years period, the sun is perpendicular on earth at 7 places. Uttarayan is 23.5 degree. Then this is 21st December. In 21st January, sun is 20 degree. 20 degree south, perpendicular on 20 degrees south of equator. And on 18th Feb, sun is 12 degrees south of equator. It is perpendicular on 12 degrees south of equator. Then on 21st March, it is 0 degree. It is perpendicular on 0 degree of equator. Then 20th April, you can say, sun is again perpendicular on 12 degree north of equator. On 21st May, sun is perpendicular on 20 degree north of equator. And 21st June, sun is again perpendicular on 23.5 degree north of equator. So when in July, sun doesn't cross the 23.5 degree north, it comes back to the 20 degree north of equator. So within 12 periods time, sun moves on these 7 points. So that Uttarayan point, that is known as a Gayatri Chanda. And that Dakshinayan point, line of Cancer, that is known as Jagati Chanda. And why Gayatri Mantra has 24 syllables? Every Chanda has 24, Gayatri Chanda has 24 syllables. So why it has 24 syllables? Because the sun is perpendicular on Uttarayan or at Gayatri Chanda, which is 23.5 degree south of equator. So 23.5 syllable cannot be there. So they called it, they made Gayatri Chanda of 24 syllables. Similarly, Jagati is again 24 degree, 23.5 degree north of equator, or you can say 24 degree north. So 24 south and 24 north total makes 48. So Jagati Chanda has 48 syllables. And in between Chanda, you can keep on adding 4 and 4. If Gayatri has 24, then Ushanik has 28, Anushtup has 32, Brihati has 36. So Brihati Chanda is equator. Rigveda, there is a mantra in the Rigveda, and the mantra says, Vrihatim Adyudha Suryastapati. When sun is perpendicular on Vrihati Chanda, Vrihatim Adyudha, when sun has covered Vrihati Chanda, then the sun Tapati. It emits heat waves. So this is how this whole Chanda system And I told that these mantras were revealed by the seers on this earth, because these mantras are telling the story of the natural phenomenon or the astronomical phenomenon that is happening on the earth. So these are the 7 chandas. So we can just see the composition of the mantra itself is very much astronomical. Their reception was from the cosmos. Their composition is also astronomical. So everything, the natural system is there. It is no artificiality is there in the Vedas. That is why we call that this Veda is Paurusheya. It is not made by some human being, because this type of intricate estimate cannot be had by any human being. Today also you can find so big scholars, scientists are there. Even after Vedas, the Vedic literature is there. No such accuracy, alignment with the nature we can find in any text. It is so aligned, and that is why Vaisheshik author Kanada at one place he says, Buddhi Purva Vakya Vede. In the Veda, the writer of the Veda has written everything applying his mind, because whatever is present in the cosmos, the same thing is written over in the Veda. So that proves that the author of this creation and the author of this knowledge is one and the same person. There are not 2 different persons. So whatever this creation, this visible creation is known as the Drishya Kavya of the Brahman. Who is Kavi in Sanskrit? In modern terms, Kavi means a person who writes some poem. But in Vedic terms, Kavi means who does some karma. So Brahman does some karma. Kaver karma kavyam. And whatever karma a Kavi does, that karma is known as his kavya. And Brahman has been uh, addressed by the name of Kavi. In Ishavasya Upanishad, we find the various attributes of Brahman. Kavi, Paribhu, Manishi, like that. So Brahman is also known as Kavi. Why? And his karma is this creation. So Kavera karma kavyam. So this creation is his kavya. This visible creation is his drishya kavya. And Veda, because Veda is also his karma, so that Veda is his Shravya Kavya. It is known as a Shruti. So through you can, if you want to see the Kavya karma of Brahman, you just understand this creation, visible creation. And if you want to hear the Kavya of Brahman, you just hear the Veda. That is why in Rig Veda itself there is a mantra. It says Utatva Pashyan na Pashyatyenam, like that. I'm not able to remember it. And Shrinavan na Shnotyenam. A person who is not, there are persons who even seeing this visible creation of Brahman, they are not able to understand his Kavya. And there are persons who even recites the Vedas. They are not able to understand the meaning of his Kavya. So further the mantra, the seer says, this Kavya exposes to the seer who does effort with the Brahman, who merges with the Brahman, then this Kavya, his Kavya exposed itself, just like the wife exposed herself to her husband. So this is a beautiful symbolism has been given in the Veda. So this is Shravya Kavya, this is Drashya Kavya, this is Brahman, this is Apaurusheya. It is all very fantastic and very interesting story, while uh, treading on the path of understanding Veda. So I think this is time over, or
You can go for another 10 minutes, sir. It's very nice listening to you. So, yeah, you can please.
no, because I must take care of time also. Sometimes
Right, right, right. I
our
mean, actually,
participants may think that this professor he keep on speaking and boring us. So
no, no, no.
whole
Yeah.
system, Vedic system. Now this whole Vedic system has been divided further. Just like we have the Sanghita mantra portion that is known as the Veda itself. Then we have the Brahmanas. Brahmana means where the further exposition of the concept of the mantra has been given, done. That is the Brahmana. Then the Aranyak. Because this human life, it has also been compartmentalized. First one is Brahmacharya, where you will gain the whole knowledge. Then this grihastha, if you want to this material life, you want to live a material life based on dharma, you can enter into the grihastha. Then vanaprastha is there. Vanaprastha, you live this material life after a certain age, after the age of 50. You go to the aranya, do meditation, try to transform yourself, because only the material life is not enough. Because our shastras, they are talking about the purushartha. In the you roam about the whole universe. There are so many civilizations in the universe, but none of the civilizations till date has defined the objective of human life. These civilizations says eat, mate, and marry. That is only the purpose of human life. But our seers, the Vedic seers says the purpose of human life, they called it within one word, and that one word is Purushartha. Purushartha. And that one word Purushartha has four things: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So sometime this Purushartha, this is also defined as Chaturvarga. And some people they call it as Trivarga. So either the objective of the human life is Trivarga for ordinary human beings. If you are an elevated human being, superhuman being, you want to reach at the divinity level, then Chaturvarga is there, include that moksha also. So for ordinary human being, Trivarga is there. You acquire knowledge, good character, moral, ethical values, to learn about your duties, then you enter into the grihastha life. Material life you enjoy, but according to the dharma. Then kama is there. You can redeem your legitimate desires, not illegitimate desires. So that calm is also there. Then after you have enjoyed all these things, then you can go or you can proceed further to the moksha. So for the moksha also, a particular path has been shown, right from dharma, artha, how to earn artha, how to earn calm, how to enjoy calm, and then how to proceed on the path of moksha. So this whole system that starts with the compartmentalized life, grihastha and vanaprastha. So this aranyakas, because in Vedic mantras you will have all the three types of information: adhyatmika, adhidaivika, and adhibhautik. Because the jnana part it is there. Then you will have to understand that jnana part. So that understanding will be aided to you by the Brahmana Granthas. Then this Aranyaka is there. So now this Bhautik part you leave aside. Bhautik part you leave aside, and then you enjoy that Vanaprastha life in Aranyaka system. And finally you are reaching the Upanishad part. That is the final part of the Veda. And when you reach the Upanishad part, you leave everything astronomical, this adhibhautika, adhidaivik, you leave aside. Then you concentrate only on the Paramartha, Moksha, or Adhyatma. So these Upanishads, they are the books of Adhyatma. Vedanto nam Upanishata Pramanam, and that Adhyatma, it is known as Vedanta. One is Veda, one term is Veda, another term is Vedanta. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vedvit aham, Vedant kritascha. मैं वेद का जानने वाला भी हूं, वेद को ईश्वर जो है ब्रह्मन, दैट ब्रह्मन ही क्रिएट्स द वेद एंड ही finishes the Veda also. Why the Vedanta, end of the Veda happens? Because just like we are studying some book, and if the goal of whatever, with what goal, whatever goal we are studying those books, suppose we want to do MSc in physics, so we are uh, reading some books. When we do MSc, then we are going to leave those books aside because those books are now, our purpose has solved and now they are not more helpful to us. Similarly, this knowledge, this way, why it is required for human being? It is said, Rite Jnanat Namukti. For moksha, the knowledge is most important. And when, with the help of this knowledge, at Upanishad level, you receive, you are close to the point of moksha, then Vedanta, the end of the knowledge comes. This knowledge, end of the knowledge comes with achieving the moksha. When you achieve moksha, then this knowledge is not required because you have gone into the moksha. So this Veda and Vedanta starts from Veda and end with Vedanta. That is the journey, Paramartha journey of the human life. So this is the whole introduction of the Veda. And now this house is open, I think, as usual for questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aryaji. Every time I hear you, it comes with a new dimension. And now the forum is open for questions. And raise your hand and we can go with the questions. One by one, please. You can raise your hand and ask your questions.
Pranam Guruji. Can you explain?
Go ahead. But Suresh Garu, you can ask the question.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Wonderful talk. Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity to listen in and learn from you. Outstanding insights into how to understand the structure of our Vedic knowledge. One question I have in terms of this threefold division you described, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika. Is it okay for me to understand it in this context of Adhyatmika, Vyavaharika, Paramatmika? Are they similar, or is there a distinction between these these classifications?
You are right. Because this Paramarthika, Paramarthik and Vyavaharika, these are two terms. Paramarthik means at the level of moksha. When you are close to the moksha, that is Paramarth. Param means the final objective of the human life. Dharma, Artha and Kam. These are not the Paramarth. These are Vyavhara. And Paramartha, Vyavhar means how to lead your life to reach that Paramartha, final destination. So at Paramartha, Advaita is there. There is no Advaita, no body, no different soul, because you have merged with the Brahman. The upadhi of the body has diminished. So at Paramartha is Advaita, and at Vyavhara or Dharma, Artha and Kama, this is Dvaita. Here we are in the body, we are learning through the body, because the soul itself, a soul can't do anything. It is pangu, it is motionless, it is can't walk even an inch with the help of the linga sharira. This soul is transferring from one body to another body. So this linga sharira, and it is said bhogayatanam shariram. What is the bhoga this soul does? It is on the basis of the body. So even the moksha, if the soul wants to attain moksha, it is only with the help of this body. This body has been given so that the soul may achieve moksha. Without body, the soul won't be able to even achieve moksha. So that Paramartha, you are very much right. These three varga is Vyavhara, and that moksha is the Paramartha. But is the Shankar also defines it like that.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Lakshmi Kant ji, you can unmute and talk. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. You were drawing the distinction between devas and devatas, and you started explaining ratis and aratis. And in explaining that, I got lost. What is the difference between devas and devatas? Especially in the context that some of the devatas are the manifestation post Vedas, like Rama, Krishna avatars, right? We treat them as.
Let me explain. In fact, I'm talking about only at the level of Veda, not post level. So when you come across, encounter a word Devata in the Veda, that means the subject matter of the Veda. And Dev is different. Just Ram is Deva. Krishna is Deva, no doubt. But today, in classical Sanskrit and modern languages, we have made Dev and Devata as one thing. But they are not one thing so far as the Vedic language is concerned. Dev is Deva at Vedic language also. But when Deva becomes the subject matter of the Veda, that Dev becomes Devata. Understand? So, because Ram and Krishna, they came later, so they are not the subject matter of the Veda. So, subject matter, to be the subject matter of the Veda in Vedic terms, I'm talking about in Vedic terms, not classical Sanskrit. In classical Sanskrit, Ram and Krishna, they are also Devata. But in Vedic Sanskrit, when we talk about Devata, this is what the confusion is there. Today, while studying Veda, the people are applying the modern terms. While studying Dharma, the people are considering Dharma as a religion. While talking about Yajna, the people are thinking Yajna is sacrifice. So whole mess is taking place. There is a lot of demarcation, what is Vedic and what is Laukik. That is why two terms have been coined, Laukik and Vedic. So this classical is name given by these Westerners. It's all confusing. What is classical? They don't know all these things. So we have given a very distinguished terms, Vedic and Laukik. So sometime Laukik cannot coincide with Vedic and Vedic cannot coincide with Laukik. So Dev means a Dev contributing authority in human beings or the celestial body or Brahman, they are all Devas. And these Devas, they are the subject matter of the Veda. Subject matter means the Veda talks about these Devas itself. But the later, whatever came later to the Veda, that cannot be the Devata in terms of the subject matter of the Veda.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other person who would like to ask? Seshagiri Garu? Yeah, you can ask the question now.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, can you please explain once again Chandas?
Chandas.
Chanda, okay.
Chanda.
Chanda means covering.
Chanda.
Covering means when Earth moves around the sun covers Earth at a particular point. Perpendicularly it covers. Although from 23 degrees south of equator to 23 degrees north of the equator, sun is always there. And that is in our Brahmana, Shatpat Brahmana, this place between 23 degrees south to 23 degrees north, that is known as the place of Vishnu. Vishnu sleeps here. Vishnu means the sun rays falling on the earth. And between this period, there are 7 particular points. 23 degree half north, 20 degree north, 12 degree north, 0, then this 0 degree, then south, 12 degrees south, 20 degrees south, 23.5 degrees south. These are 7 points in the whole year. The earth is perpendicular on different timings at these different points, just like 21st March, 21st January, 18th February, 21st March, 20th April, 21st May, 21st June, 22nd July, 21st August, 23rd September, like that. and October, November. So sun is either at this point or these 7 points. So these 7 points, because sun covers the earth perpendicularly, these 7 points, they are known as chanda. So 23.5 degrees south, that is known as Gayatri, and that is known as Makara Sankranti, solar Makara
Okay.
Makar Sankranti or Uttarayan, you call it. And
Yes,
similar, 23.5 degree north of equator, line of Cancer, what we call, that is Dakshinayan, or that is Jagati Chanda. So, all these chandas, equator is the Brihati Chanda. All these 7 points are different 7 chandas. So I can again calculate 23.5 degrees south is Gayatri Chanda, 20 degrees south is Ushanik Chanda, 12 degrees south is Anushtup Chanda, 0 degrees south is Brihati Chanda, then 12 degrees north, Pankati Chand, then
okay.
20 degree north, Trishtup Chand, and 23.5 degree north, Jagati Chand. So 24 syllable to Jagati because it is 23.5. So 28, 4 for you increase by 4, and Jagati is 48
Then you
syllables.
take Gayatri and Jagati, the 24, 23.5, and 23.5 Jagati.
Because this
Then how it comes to
23.5
20?
syllable cannot be there, syllable count. So we made it 24. Gayatri means 24 syllables are there in the Gayatri Chand.
Sir,
Jagati Chand is made up of 48 syllables. Ushnik is made up of 24 plus 4, 48. Brihati, 36 Chand. So this is the count of syllables in Chandas, and that is exactly according to this astronomical system. One more thing. Our Saptapadi system is there in marriage system. This earth and sun walk 7 steps together. That is why Kalidas in Abhijnan, that Shiva Parvati Samvadana, he says, Satam Sangatam Saptapadi Namuchyate, the Sreshta Vyakti, the noble persons, they become friend while walking 7 steps, just like earth and sun walk 7 steps, they become friend. And in Bhagavad Puranas, Krishna is sun and Radha is this earth. So Krishna and Radha are friend. But Bhagavad Purana's Krishna is different from Mahabharata's Krishna. Mahabharata's Krishna is a historical personality, that is astronomical personality. Bhagavad Purana's Krishna, gopis are dancing around, means these planets are dancing around him. He flutes, he plays on flute, because when this earth moves around the sun, it emits a sound of flute in the cosmos. There is a scholar, Guy Markey. He has written a book, Seven Wonders of the World. He says when through remote sensing equipments, when the sounds were detected while earth moves around the sun, he says the earth gives a sound, emits the sound just like of a flute, bansuri. So these are all different astronomical
Okay, sir. Thank you.
historical levels.
Right. Radha Kumari garu, quick, crisp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Sir, I wanted to know this when you defined Rashtra according to Ved. So it is made up of Radi. It is
Ratis.
R-A-D-I or R-A-D-I?
R-A-T-I. R-A-T-I.
Yeah.
T-H-I you call in South, I think,
R-A-T-I.
it's R-A-T-H-I like that, or Ratis. In
R-A-T-H-I.
there are words of
R-A-T.
Ratayah, Aratayah, Ratayah, Rati, Arati.
Okay. Radi.
Radani,
Okay. Okay.
Radi.
Radi.
It is made up of a root Ra. Ra means to donate, to contribute. Radane.
Okay. And sir, can you elaborate little more on jati, on the concept of because there is so much
Ah,
confusion about it.
yes, yeah. The simple thing. Jati is different, Varn is different. Janma
Yeah.
karma swabhavata. One is by your sanskaras. If you have a sanskaras of Brahman, you are a Brahman. If you have a sanskar of Kshatriya, you are a Kshatriya. If you have a sanskar of Shudra, means laborer, you don't want to study, you want to remain uneducated, that is Shudra. And Jati means the born caste. Sometime if you have born from a Brahman parents, you are Brahman. If you are born from a Kshatriya parents, you are a Kshatriya. So in Vedic system, there was no Jati system. It was only the Varna system. And in Vedic words, or even in darshanas, Jati means species. Human Jati, animal Jati, like that. Jati ayur bhogaha. Yaska, Patanjali says, a person when he dies, what he achieves from his past karmas, his jati, his species, whether he will be an animal, human being, female, bird, insect, like ayu, lifespan in that species. So jati in Veda and other Arsha Granthas means species. So jati is different, varna is different. Veda talks about Varna, not the Jati system. But the confusion is there. Sometime a person is a Brahman from Jati because he has born of parents of the Brahman parents, he is also Brahman. But in Varna also, the Brahman. So confusion has to be removed. Either you are talking about a Varna, means through your swabhav, through your sanskar, or you are talking from the birth. So there are two things, Shudra and Dvija. Only two demarcations are there. Shudra means illiterate, uneducated. Dvij means educated. And in Varna system, Dvijas have been divided into three further Varnas. Kshatriya, Vaishya and Brahmana. And the Shudra, illiterate is illiterate. There is no further division of the Shudra. So only two classes. Dvij means born twice. A person first takes birth from his mother's womb as biological birth. Then he takes birth from the Acharya's womb, Antevasi. When he takes birth from the Acharya, becomes educated, he is known as a Dvija. So Shudra and Dvija are further classified as Vaishya, as Kshatriya, and Brahmana Varna. So this is the basic difference.
Okay,
you.
thank you. Thank you. Sujit ji, Sujit Kumar, you can unmute and talk.
Guruji, this is back on the topic of Chanda, from the Gayatri Chanda of 24 to the Jagati of 48, you have 7 markers. So like in psiography or in solar charts that we study, so there are 2 angles. One is the altitudinal angle, which will be on a cone of 12 degrees, which is the jump, and then you have these markers. But then the azimuthal angle, which is also varying from the length of the day, is by the azimuthal angle. Would the chand also have any reference apart from the altitude to the azimuth?
No.
Okay.
It is not related with azimuth because there are 7 chandas in a whole year time period. Because Gayatri Chanda ends, Gayatri Chanda starts from 21st December and it ends on 20th January. So that whole period is Gayatri Chanda. Just like the mantra is Savitur Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. That Savita, that eulogy of Savita is there. So that is the Uttarayana period. And he says, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. When the sun rises, it inspires the buddhi of the various persons in different tasks. During night, you cannot do it. So the Uttarayana is the cosmic day, start of the cosmic day. Or the Daiv day. Because the 6 months Daivik day and 6 month night is there. So Uttarayan is the start of the day, day of the Devas. These poles, they are the divine years. Sumeru and Kumeru is South Pole. So polar day and night of 6 months each. So here the Deva or the Uttarayana is the start of the day of the Devas. So our start of the day is with the rise of the sun. So that is for
Right.
1 year, and it is for 6 months period.
Okay, thank you very much, Arya ji. Nice hearing you again. And yeah, as I said in the start, that every time you come, you come with a new concept. Thank you very much. And thank you for taking your time and clarifying the questions. Thank you very much. With your permission, we'll go for the next pradhana.
Ji.
Okay. Venkatnarayan garu, can you do the pradhana, please?
Yes, sir. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तान् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति.
ధన్యవాదాలు వెంకటనారాయణ గారు. Now we raise for the national anthem. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय. Okay. Now
Ji,
the
namaste,
recording
ji.
is being stopped.